Hi, my name is Ernest. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Ajax Search Pro's Predictive Results feature. So first off, let's go to Ajax Search Pro menu and let's create a search bar. I'm going to call it test and click add. And now let's click on this gear icon to access the search bar settings. I have a WooCommerce installation here, so I'm just going to choose to search for products here and deselect the posts and the pages. Let's scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to also enable the search in terms feature, which is going to help me search in product categories and return products based on those category searches. Now, let's take a look at all the products. So as you can see, these are some sample products with some sample categories, but it's perfectly fine. Let's go back to Ajax Search Pro settings and click on the show button here on the bottom right side of the screen to access the preview. And let me just try to search for example, album. There you go. And it should give me the album as the result from the products list. I think here it is. But now let's take a look what would happen if I made a mistake, a typo. Would the search be able to still find this result? Let's say album. Yeah, no results for album. Did you mean album? And it found it, but why? Let's click on the autocomplete and suggestions panel. And okay, let me just make it smaller by clicking on this icon. All right, so we can see both the preview and the settings. And let's go to the predictive results and keyword suggestion feature. And as you can see, this is by default enabled. And also the source is set to post titles, which in this case means titles from the selected post types. What happens when I search for say a category? The album is in the music category. So if I search for music, see the album is there also with another result single. But what if I make a mistake here? What is going to happen? What if I just type in music C? See, it says there's no results. Nothing is suggested. That is because only the post titles are selected by default as the keyword suggestion source. But if we go down this list, we can also find the product categories here, taxonomy product cat. Let's move it right there. Let's refresh and search for music. And there we go. We have a successful suggestion. You can use all of these sources. I would always suggest using maybe one or two. The post titles and maybe a taxonomy, those are really, really good. They are the most common typos in my experience. But there are a few more options here. Why don't we just explore them? So here is an experimental feature, which takes this and applies it to the results page as well. So let me just enable it first. And let me go to the search behavior and magnifier and return action keys. And let's change the magnifier and return button actions to redirect to the WooCommerce results page, because that's what we need here. And let's go to open in a new tab because I don't want to close this preview. So right after this, I will have to save this because otherwise it will not apply on the results page because this is only a preview. Let's go back to the preview. Let me make the same mistake again. Let me hit enter. And hey, there you go. And we got search results for music, but as you can see, we got the results from music. We still get the results for the typo on the results page as well, which I think is amazing. Now let's go back and see what else is there. Okay, so autocomplete and suggestions, predictive results. So there is keyword suggestions on no results. So whenever nothing matches from these sources, the plugin will still try to do some keyword suggestions. However, in this case, we can't really demo that because the post titles and the product categories will always match something. So how about I move a Google Keywords source into the suggestion sources? And let's now try refresh. And let's just type in something random. Oh, it still manages to do something. Let's try numbers. Those usually don't work. Let's try lower. Okay, there we go. So see, we still get a keyword suggestion, but this suggestion definitely comes from the Google source because we don't have a matching result from that. I don't think I would use these in combination. Usually what people do is turn off the predictions, and then after that, if I say I made a mistake, I just get a correction, and when I click on it, I get the correct results. So this is one way to use it. I would definitely not use it in combination, but you can do that. So basically you can set the maximum suggestion counts. So how many words, what is the maximum word length? Otherwise, if the word length is bigger, the plugin is going to try to trim it. And if you're using the Google suggestions, you can set the primary language here. And also there is a no results and a digimean text. So for example, when we get this, see, no results for music. So is that and digimean and followed by the keywords. So here is a pseudo variable, as you can see, the phrase, but it's put in these brackets right there. That means if there is no phrase and there is no match for a phrase, then only this text will apply. Let me show you that. Okay, how about we just don't have a source and try an empty search. See, no results. Why is that? Let's go back. Why is that? Because the phrase was empty, and therefore the whole thing in these brackets is just ignored. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's a really, really neat feature that you can use, you know, to display different text based on if the phrase is there or not. And you can reuse that many times. All right, I think we covered the predictive keyword suggestions. How about we take this time and look at the autocomplete? So the autocomplete, as you may have noticed, and let me just turn this back on so we have products. Autocomplete. So by default, it's keyword suggestions. In many cases, it's perfectly good. Okay, let me refresh. Let me try typing something. And as you can see, we got a maps suggestion there. It's coming from generic Google keywords. If I now hit the right arrow on my keyboard, then it's auto-completed, but unfortunately it yields no results. So usually I disable this. I don't really like this, but many of my customers do. But if you do that, I would change it to the post titles. And okay, here refreshing is not going to be enough, unfortunately. Refresh. And let's try a album. There you go. And when I hit the right key, it's auto-completed, and there you go. So the same thing applies here as it did in the predictive results. So you can set a character count where you want to trigger this. For example, if I set it to like 3, then when typing in A, well, see, I'm not trigger that, but ALB will. There you go. So you can also set the key maximum length of each keyword and set up also keyword suggestions in a comma-separated list if you want to. Another very useful feature in this area is the suggested search keywords. This is very simple. You just turn it on, refresh, and there you go. You have a try this list below the search bar. You can very quickly style it, change the text, change the keywords. I can do albums, music, refresh, and when the user clicks on it, he gets immediately results. I think this is really, really cool. I do recommend using this feature. And so there we go. This is all I wanted to show you today. I hope you liked this video. If you don't have an Ajax server license yet, well, you can buy one on our website. Link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye bye.